Crow and Lord Supreme, the Abolish movement. Today's topic, we're going to talk about having knowledge of self. Jim Crow, what's your take on that?
Well, no offense to all my college-educated people out there in the world, but I don't think any of you majored in that. Why? Because it's not even a class. You know what I'm saying? It can't be a major or a degree if they only teach it in a 5 or 4 credit hour situation. So you gotta get that, with some hard work, independent study. Not just going back to see what the people you come from did. In our case, that ain't easy. Ain't a lot of statues, is it? Can't make it to Washington to see the Martin Luther King tribute. They ain't got us in all the parks. We're not all over the universities. So you got to do that digging into the books, man, and find out about the great accomplishments of your people in our situation.
For me to add on to that, we in a day and time where you can get on Google and find information, what I'm saying, and look the information up, But when I was coming up, gaining knowledge of self, being in the nation of gods and earths and getting the lessons, and through the lessons, you might have to, do research on the topic of Jerusalem, or, when that city was formed, to go along with the lesson, how long has that city been around, and stuff like that, or how old is the planet, what's the population of the planet Earth, So, but to do additional study and research, you had to go inside of a book, an actual book. It ain't like now where you can just get on Google or speak to Google. Yeah. Google, could you look up the population of the planet Earth for me? So that take about 2 seconds maybe.
And I'm glad you said that, man, because you know me, man. I'm old school. When I'm talking about books, I'm actually talking about a book.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The actual physical book, because you turn the pages up.
For the people who's more assimilated into the modern technology, which I ain't, for whatever reason, mainly choice. But yeah, Google getting it from a book too, so it's all the same. Get it where you gotta get it. If you don't want to go to the library, if you don't want to go to the archives and all that, then yeah, you definitely ain't got no excuse. Now I might have an excuse. Maybe that day I'm too busy to get to the library and get a book or get to the bookstore. But yeah, people who keep a cell phone and that technology in their hands all the time.
It's a computer, man.
Then yeah, you definitely don't have no reason for for failing to get it. But yeah, I mean it's that. It's talking to the elders.
Oh man,
getting verbal information.
True indeed. Indeed.
The struggles that they personally have went through and have overcome, and looking in their face and knowing that we got that in common. We coming off the same tree. If you achieved, in spite of all the obstacles, so can I. That'll instill more of a belief in yourself when times get tough. To see fools who don't walk that path and made it out, not unscathed, because you ain't gonna get that. You're gonna take some wounds, believe me, but look at your wounds of pride. So yeah, you got the actual text that we talking about now, and now you got physical, the people. Get the written and get the oral representation of who you are.
That's right.
Put all these elements together. A third element, you need to just get somewhere quiet and ask yourself some damn tough questions. Get in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and ask yourself, who am I? Where have I been? Where am I now? Where do I want to go? How do I get there? What do I believe in? What don't I believe in? Set some principles and guidelines for yourself, and then stand on it like a rock, not inflexible, because you could be wrong about some things.
Yep.
But don't just go everywhere the wind blows, man. Try to plant your feet firmly and stand for something and be about something, man. Be a good representation. to the best of your abilities. We understand we all have faults. There will be mistakes. There will be some things done that we'll have regret about. But just know that's all part of the process. That's part of you gaining that knowledge of self, man. Like, hey, I did that, but I no longer want to do that.
Yeah, we don't.
I believe that, but I no longer do.
To add on to that, it goes beyond, when you grasp and gain knowledge of self, it goes beyond beliefs. Now we're dealing with actual facts. So it goes from, believing in God to now knowing that you God in your universe. You know what I mean? Your universe is where your position of your life within your, the existence of the planet and, where you existing at. You know what I'm saying? So to go from there is to go beyond somebody else's belief system, going beyond your, a belief system that was given to you to now I know who I am as, original man of the planet Earth, you know what I'm saying? And you can go around the whole world and see proof of that. Whether it's, statues, monuments, books written in stone, hieroglyphs, ancient texts. It's somehow it mentions the black man or the original man on the earth is the higher power on this planet.
And all this is true. I'm glad we talking about knowledge of self, and a few times you said the word knowing. Knowledge, knowing.
Knowledge,
or a fact.
To know the ledge, actual
Not
facts.
Thinking, knowing.
Yeah.
So all these things you just said is true, and they're not going to specifically point you in the directions. They ain't going to tell you, hey, if you get a chance, go over to Egypt and go into the tombs and look at yourself all over the walls, the artwork that your people did, representations of you. They ain't gonna never tell you that. They'd rather tell you go to Cancun and drink everything you can get your hands on. You know what I'm saying? Party it up. And you still be in the dark. So all this stuff is out here. Some of it's been defaced, but it hasn't all been destroyed. It hasn't been hidden. They're just not gonna point it out as something that, they really want you to immerse yourself in. But it's there for the taking. Probably should take it then. You've taken stuff that really wouldn't even do you no damn good. Shit that would be harmful to you, set you back. So all this stuff will do is just elevate you to a new plane, man.
That's right.
It give you so much wind in your sail, man. It changed how you really look at things, how you relate to people, man.
When you even look at, when you say knowledge, to know the ledge, so you won't fall off the edge. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to know, for me, the questions is, or always came about is, who is God? You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, the answer became, it became more obvious when I see God when I look in the mirror, and people say, well, why do you say you God? Well, God is a German word, which means Gomar Az Dubar, wisdom, strength, and beauty. Wisdom is what? The manifestation of your knowledge. Strength. They say strength is, what you can lift. For me, I say strength is how much can you take, how much you can take. And beauty is just being, that's our skin. Beautiful is our skin color, our skin tones, black, brown, many shades. That's beautiful because we can absorb the frequencies of the sun. That's a beautiful thing. That's what makes you stronger. That's how you show your strength, being out there in that sun 8, 9, 10, 12 hours. And
that's it.
You know what I mean? And
SPF 0.
Yeah, exactly. So
they never put no copper total on in life.
So to put that word together, God, it's human attributes to show us, who we are. You know what I mean? So I know when I get up in the morning and look in the mirror, I see God in the flesh, in the physical form.
It. Schoolie D said way back in the day, I look into the mirror, I say, damn, Jesus was a black man. That's old. That's going back to cassettes.
Yeah, word
life.
life.
For those of you of a certain age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He stuck that in.
Of course. So when we speaking on knowledge of self, us being, our position, our age, I don't want to give my age, but, to enjoy the 80s and the 90s, the music, and a lot of MCs had knowledge of self. So, they got to sprinkle breadcrumbs in the music, you know what I'm saying? The black man is God, or, speaking about solar facts or actual facts, you know what I'm saying? And so when you obtain knowledge of self, you understand in your 120, we get 120, now you like, oh, okay, now I know what this MC was talking about, or I know what this
Right.
MC was talking about, you know what I'm saying? So
It's like time release.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So all
in
the
that moment, you might not get it, but
yeah,
that's what that was.
yeah. They just manifesting their knowledge, man, showing their wisdom when they was doing that. When they was talking about certain topics or certain subjects. You know what I'm saying? So it was all, but like it's like a man that's really thirsty. Then when he get it, it's like, oh, his thirst was quenched. You know what I'm saying? So, but we got to enjoy a lot of good music, good times, because a lot of musicians and artists, they was blessed to have knowledge of self and share it with the people, which made their work even more beautiful, you know what I'm saying, and more easy to listen to, or to look at, or to pay attention to, because what they was talking about has substance.
Plenty for you to chew on, and I think things have evolved for the worse. No disrespect to anybody out there making a living doing your music, but the question I would ask is this your music, or have your ideas been hijacked? You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
or diluted.
did the dude dilute it, or literally just change completely? Like, have you been incentivized to just completely turn your back on something that you should be doing, and just going along to get a nice fat check? Because I promise you, like as we said, they're not going to tell you to go to Egypt. They definitely ain't going to tell you to empower your people verbally. And if you do make that choice, then the money might be this. So if your greed overtakes your sense of responsibility, and the man got money stacked up like that to just say something silly and frivolous and meaningless, you might see more people more interested in this hand right here. And that is the situation now. But again, hey, I'm not offering to pay none of their rent. I'm not offering to buy none of them no cars or chains or nothing. So if that's what they aspire to have, then the choice is easy. The choice is that I'm going to say whatever I'm being incentivized to say. And the money has always been on that side.
Well, we let the powers that be,
mainstream hip hop.
we let the powers that be take over our art form and put monetary value on it.
That's why I say hijack.
So
how can they dictate what you say other than if you're going to sell out and take the biggest amount of money you can see?
But money can't see that. And so now, as we pay attention to today's music, really, and man, we just talk about hip hop music. It's been dumbed down. It's been diluted to the point where now I can't even call them MCs, because they're not masters of ceremonies. These artists talking about getting high off of pills, just stupid stuff. It's not, they're not even making music. It's just all elementary. You know what I mean? So they sell their souls for money, but the creativity gets washed up at the same time. There's no creativity in none of this in today's hip hop. That's mainstream. Maybe a couple artists, I don't want to say no names, I don't want to sound biased, but compared to when I was a youngster to even my late 20s, maybe early 30s, hip hop is flourishing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, but today it's scarce, unless you have to go on YouTube or on the internet yourself and find underground artists, and just to enjoy the music, just to enjoy the art form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, who will remain underground because
the powers that be took over our art form.
They're not going to give them any type of situation to where they could be heard by the masses. Like, never would you be seeing certain people get radio play. Like, Immortal Technique is never gonna be mass produced, by radio all across this country But he don't even want that, because if he did, he wouldn't be saying the type of shit he's saying.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, I guess you just have to make a choice. Like, what do you want? What do you want your legacy to be? Because the money you ain't taking with you.
I mean, you just,
And when you die, you know, hey, the testimonial has to be had.
you know,
He didn't stand for shit, but ooh, he made a lot of money. That ain't really a great testimony.
that's not a great testimony. You know,
Not at all.
when you look at money, like, so to go back to the, you know, for me, you know, my foundation is being, you know, within the nation of gods and earths. And there's a plus degree. It talks about Yaqub. Yaqub taught 366. He had an extra 6 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Anything beyond 360 degrees is an illusion. So for me to see money is an illusion in this matrix. So you substitute your art form for money. So you just say any old goddamn thing out here for dimes and nickels.
And it's irresponsible, man. I mean,
Very irresponsible.
I just wrote something in the notebook right now, you know, what I wanted to say, and I'm going to say it after a little bit. But yeah, I can't imagine all the poetry I've written and said at open mics over years. No scenario ever would happen to where I'm sitting there as the artist, as the man with the intellect and the ideas, ready to put them together, and let some dude tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, we're thinking this is what you should say. Money or not. You know what I'm saying? Money or not. So I guess, you know, again, I guess it's how desperate you are. How much are you willing to sell? Like you said, sell your soul. But yeah, as the artist, you don't let somebody tell you what you see. That don't make sense to me, man. Like, hey, I know people work on commission. Hey, I got $1,000. Paint me a picture of a tree or something. Okay, that's completely different than someone trying to impart some wisdom or not. You know what I'm saying? It's way different doing portraits. Some guys, you know, just saying that. But yeah, ultimately, it's supposed to be left up to the artist.
Yeah, but you know,
what message are you trying to convey?
Exactly.
And hey, even then, when the dude say, "Hey, I'd like a picture of a tree," he still ain't standing there critiquing it. Like, you pick what kind of tree you gonna do. Hey, is it gonna be oak tree, a maple tree, elm tree? Is it gonna be fall, winter, spring? Or are the trees gonna be around? You know, you still, ultimately, it's up to you. You are the creator. Don't let some dude with a few dollars in his hand and no talent, because if he could do it, he would. He wouldn't even pay you.
With no talent, dictate.
No talent. He's gonna shape and form everything you do.
Anything you say, they might even
how you dress.
To create your life story. Look, dude, you might not even grew up. You might have grew up a certain way. They might write your bio for you. Say, hey, this is how you live. We're gonna portray to the world. This is how you live.
Memorize
this is how you grew up.
this.
Memorize this. Like, dude, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up like this, such and such, rah rah rah. You know what I'm saying? And you have to live out this facade that they created for you.
Right. Again, out of desperation, thinking you're getting something better, but at some point you have to deal with what you have to deal with, man. And you know, there's always a moment of clarity. So you can't, you know, shuffle along, tap dancing,
Shucking
the
and
old soft shoe for Mr. Charlie.
shucking and jiving.
Shucking and jiving. Yasa and Nasa. You know, not literally that, but along those lines, if he's sitting there pulling the strings on you that much, and yeah, at some point, man, you're gonna have that regret. Like, you're gonna know what you did. I don't care how much top shelf liquor he provides at your release parties, how much drugs you take, you still know what you did, and you know, you're gonna have to deal with the ramifications of that. Like, you had an opportunity to say what needed to be said, and you turned your back on that opportunity, and it's hard to get. So yeah.
So
All you want is the platform, man.
So
that's the dream, the platform to say what you want to say.
So as a black man, to know self is to save self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to seek, listen, we was given religions, and these religions taught us to turn the other cheek when danger comes. Somebody smack you, turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
Love your enemy. That sounds dumb to me. There's no logic behind that. I'm gonna love somebody that's oppressing me and my people. Nah, that sounds dumb. There's no logic behind that. That ain't doing nothing but setting us up for failure. You see what I'm saying? I have to seek within self. Till when I seek within self, I find the savior, which is myself. Only I can save self.
That's all, to go back to my favorite people, that party, not the Republican, not the Democrats, the Black Panther.
Yes, sir.
Party.
Yes, sir.
Why did they form? For self-defense. Self-defense in order to preserve their lives, and then to build on the life that they preserved and to go forward in a more positive fashion in the future, Not, hey, let's just try to look on the bright side as they slaughter us and oppress us and take advantage of us, and keep us down and think about what's beyond the pearly gates in the sky. No, that really ain't gonna cut it.
Not for me. Well, yeah. There's no proof of that, but us getting killed.
Yeah.
So Jim Crow. So to wrap it all up, you gonna spit some hot funk for us?
Man, if it's hot or not, I'm gonna do it. It is what it is. Please excuse any and all ring rust. Like I said, I was a prolific spoken word artist, but I definitely took a hiatus of a substantial amount of years. But they say, I guess it's like riding a fucking bike, right?
That's right.
Jump back on and pedal.
Yes, sir.
Just a few lines, man. Not too long. Shit's about to get critical. Cats out here with physical and mental, just pitiful. Whatever you do, brothers and sisters, don't lose hope. But if you do, take it from me. You won't find that shit in dope. But if I said I never ever smoked weed, that's a lie. But it's not like that heroin. I got high. I didn't die. Shout out to fools this month on that pride. Came out to me, shit. That man, run and hide. Peace.
Peace from Lord Supreme Jim Crow Productions, the Abolish Movement. Peace.
Yeah.